Hola, it is I, Alicia. So we're back again, and this time we're going to be talking about Suzanne Morphew. And I just finished watching a video from Jill, the private investigator. She said somebody sent to her a conversation that took place at a funeral in Indiana where Barry and the girls had attended, allegedly. She said that the source was in contact with the one that had this conversation with Barry. Okay, so Barry's talking to his former ex-pastor, one of them. I guess it was a couple. And so he's talking to this former ex-pastor, the wife of the pastor couple. And the female pastor, she was talking to him. She goes over to hug Barry and I guess the girls. And so she took Barry's hand, I guess. She looked straight into his eyes. And she said that she hopes that God's with Suzanne right now. And supposedly, allegedly, Barry has a teardrop. And he says, she's gone in heaven. And the pastor seems very confused, like, what do you mean? And then apparently it's like he's like, oops, let the cat out of the bag. But he adds there's some other details in there about this supposed conversation and the dinner that happened afterwards. So I'm going to leave the link down below, so you can check out Jill, the private investigator's video on this, so you can listen to the whole crazy town things that allegedly were said in this conversation. Which led me to a couple questions. The other thing was that today I watched a video that Sweetie Pilo did, and it was on October 1st. So I don't see her stuff in my feed. I subscribed, but things get by me if I don't see them in my little thing. And she was playing a clip from Psychic Reverend Donna, and it was talking about how this was premeditated, allegedly. And I just thought, wow, really? And I was, I did not get, when I read before, I did not get that it was premeditated. It felt like spur of the moment rage. So I'm wondering, was it was it, I guess when I think premeditated, I know that it can happen in a blink of an eye, right? It's like, and then there's like, but I usually think about like, oh, it's been planned for months. And I didn't get that. But we'll ask again and see what comes of that. And then I also wanted to see, is BM going to confess? If this story is true that he confessed to the pastor and perhaps there's some guilt weighing on him, will he confess to law enforcement? Will he crack? So first, let's look into, did he have this conversation where he's bearing his soul to his former pastor? Oops, goes up here. I guess they had a close relationship with their pastor friends in Indiana, and I used to talk to him all the time, and now, nope. All right. Okay, so the energy behind here, this is a new opportunity. I'm going to take that more as it's an opportunity to, maybe, opportunity to talk. I definitely, it looked, yeah, I mean, it feels like this was a new opportunity to talk, a new opportunity to get my feelings off the table. And it feels kind of like, I think he let it slip when he added that last bit, like, in heaven. Kind of like, I felt like if that's true, that would seem like I'm really trying to get this off my chest, because he's got his inner turmoil, his secrets. He can't rest, and he's just been. I think there's remorse there. How much, I can't say. There's remorse there, but I do think he definitely was. I think he was looking to lighten his load, if you get what I'm saying, without having to step up and take responsibility. That's the best way I can say it. Because it feels like here it's like, oh, I'm going to feel so much better once I unburden myself. And then we have the sneaky snacker card. That's just what I call this guy. I call him the sneaky snacker. It's like there's sneakiness or dirty deeds going on. And the reason why I say he's a sneaky snacker is because I imagine, like, you know, when you're sneaking into the kitchen to get like a midnight snack and you don't want anybody to hear you, I call it the sneaky snacker. That's all. Just the way I call it. I know I'm a weirdo. But then again, we get this big ego controlling. I think this is then he's just, he wants to manipulate the situation, so it's kind of like he can atone, but he doesn't have to take official responsibility, right? And he was hoping to have some type of connection with her, like someone he could confide in that has, like, essentially, like, I'm gonna say it, someone to confide in that has like the direct line to God, right? I think we all have a direct line to God, but I think he probably felt like that was the direct line to God, like something could unburden himself. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. I think that conversation happened. Now, let's look into this again. Will he go and confess to law enforcement? I don't think so. I just don't. I can't imagine. I can't imagine him confessing to law enforcement, allegedly, if he did it for entertainment purposes only. I can't imagine. I do think he's probably thinking he's kind of out of the woods now. I think he feels like he can rest a little bit at the moment, but we'll do a little bit of energy cards on him to do a check-in on him since our last time of checking in on him. But is he going to confess? As Barry, are you going to confess to the law enforcement? Sure. The energy behind delay, stalling, resistance, so I'm saying that's a no. Yes. I'm going to say no. I don't feel that that's his, it's not on his to-do list. He's looking to get out of the situation. He's looking to leave the situation behind. It shows coming clean, being caught, punishment, but it's like, I think it's like, I feel like I want to do that, but then it's like, oh, but look at everything I'm going to be leaving behind. And it's like the nostalgia, and I don't know what other deluded thoughts are up there running right now. But we have 2 abundance cards here, and I think that's interesting, because you could say that there's a lot that has been gained if, you know, he can sell the property. Allegedly, I haven't been able to find it. If somebody has a link to that he sold her car, I don't know. So I don't know, but there's a lot of abundance around here. But we also have the self-sabotage. So it's almost like coming clean is not on his to-do list, but I think it might be like he makes too many missteps. Like I've always said throughout the readings that he made a mistake. There's somewhere where he made a mistake. And there's the self-sabotage is part of what's going to be a part of his undoing, I believe, my opinion. So he's not making a date to go down to the courthouse and put me up. lie detector and I prove I'm guilty. Not gonna happen. All right, so now let's see, like as psychic Reverend Donna said, this was premeditated. And I want to see how premeditated this was. So let's see if this is premeditated. I'm going to just pull out a few cards. I'm not going to do this in my standard layout. Sometimes I like to switch it up, do different layouts that mean whatever they mean to me. All right, let's see if we can get how Suzanne. How premeditated was Suzanne's disappearance? How premeditated was Suzanne's disappearance? Oh, I need 5. 5. Cinco. Okay, these don't matter if they're upside down or not. Okay, so I got a new way I'm calculating this, so I have to check my notes. Okay, so we have major arcana. This is like days, and then these are like weeks. Good Lord. This would, because it's 2 major arcanas, one could be considered a year. That would, I'm going to say I have 2 of those, so I have 2 years. Then, if I go through this, I have weeks. I believe it's weeks. Minors, then 3 weeks. At that point, who cares? This says 2 years. Let me check my pendulum. Is that just, I don't know. Was this premeditated? If it goes forward and backward, that means yes. If it goes left to right, it means no. Was Suzanne's disappearance premeditated? No. That's strong no. I don't think so. I mean, this is where maybe this idea popped in his head, but I still am not getting that it's like majorly premeditated. Maybe 2 years ago, I don't know what was happening in their life 2 years ago. Maybe there's something that happened 2 years ago that maybe that thought popped in his mind. I don't know. That, I'm still getting a no. It wasn't, I don't think so. This was a rage kind of like, "Rawr!" kind of thing, allegedly. All right, so my last question is, Barry threw out that whole theory that, Suzanne was not close to her siblings. And I'm wondering, was she not close to the siblings because she had a falling out, or is she not close to the siblings because they couldn't get a hold of her and she was isolated, if you get my drift? And so we're just going to look real quick into her relationship with her siblings, because I don't know, it just seems, I know siblings fall out, I have siblings I don't talk to, half siblings. But let's look, Suzanne, your relationship with your siblings. Energy behind it: poverty, worry, isolation, bullies, theft, left out in the cold. What's the energy behind it? No. So she was close to them. I had to choose between my family and my husband and my children. That's what this was. She was put in a position she had to choose between them. She had a relationship. She was close with her siblings. And it felt against her nature to not have a close relationship with her siblings. It felt like she had to give in. That's the best way I can put it. She had to give in to her husband. Her husband came first in the hierarchy, if you want to say, like when you know, say if you're going through the biblical interpretation, you know, when you marry, then, you know, you're leaving your parents and you're marrying, and now your spouse is your number one, right? So it's kind of like that. That's the way I get it. And it was like, I'm going to say that this happened like after the move. That's when the communication and the she wasn't close to them anymore, when this little narrative began. And she was very sad about this. You know, I think he was thinking this is like, he was hoping that this would just like, you know, cut the bond, you know. I don't know if that was because he's like, because of the greed. That's it. That's what it is. Because of the greed. Because of the greed. You know, it's like poverty, the worry, the isolation. This is like, she can't be close with these people. She's got her golden egg, and that golden egg is mine too. We're taking the golden egg and we're moving away. She cannot be with these people because she's afraid that they would influence her into making decisions that he would not be on board with. And it almost felt like he felt like it was him against the family, and he did not like that they had any say in her life. Allegedly. But that's what I'm getting from this. He was just like, no, done. I feel like this was an emotional manipulation to pull her out of there. And he was just hoping that like everything was just going to go his way. And then I think that's where he was trying to convince her, you know, you need to move on. You need to let this go. And I don't know if this is like, you know, I don't know if there was something that I read that they didn't have a landline, and who knows what, if they couldn't get a hold of her any other way. I don't know. But it feels like very much like it was hard for them to get a hold of her. That's just what I'm seeing in the cards. That's just my opinion. So let's check into how is he feeling now. I can't imagine, you know, when you're going out and you've revealed something and it was an oops, and now you know that people online who are interested in finding Suzanne are going to start talking and wondering. So Barry, how is Barry feeling now? How is Barry? How is Barry feeling now? Hope that damn card doesn't pop up again, that one that always confuses me. Okay, so we have, this one is artificial heart. We have obsession. I think I'm going to guess that he might have a little bit of an obsession about social media talking about this case so much. And Naked Before the Stars. I have a feeling like now he's kind of feeling exposed, and this is like way more attention than he totally ever intended to have. Let's see what Artificial Heart's about. I could guess, but we'll read it in the book together here. Oh, I need my readers on. Don't judge. Old people eyes. All right. Building oneself to specifications. Steeling oneself to adversity. Oh, dear. He looks at this like it's adversity. Good Lord. Get out of here. GTFO. Alrighty. If you have any tips, the tip line is down in the description box, as well as the link to Jill the Private Investigator and Sweetie Pie Lowe's videos that I think are very interesting. And so go watch those videos. Check them out. I think it's super, super interesting information. But again, this is all alleged. I just see what I see in the cards. You can make up your own mind. And thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and I will see you online next time. Adios.